It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got the Dolphins' superstar wide receiver. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Dolphins and the Texans, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a look at the man under center, now in his 8th season in the National Football League.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Here we go. Check. No, check.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. You talk about this Miami defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Returnable here for Davis. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year, 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Mike McDaniel dialing up the risk here a little bit on 4th down. They're going to go for it. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now a first carry for their fullback. Lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On the ground, this is Julius Chestnut. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
What's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. I think that's a good example of why they've been successful this year. They're fearless on any down.
And it's interesting that this year I asked an NFL head coach about being fearless and going for it on 4th down, and he said, people have to understand, there's fearless and there's reckless. I try not to be reckless when I make a decision to go for it on 4th down. In this case, fearless wins.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Julius Chestnut, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
You talk about this Miami defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball throw and came away with 5 interceptions.
Second down, but this one is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. He'll get this up to about the 44.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Stroud now on second down. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 37. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Handoff left side, Pierce. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. But he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On second down, here's Pierce. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. to throw it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And his kick here is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the... Let's see what this is about.
Defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Automatic first down.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Pierce gets this one running right. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down Broadway. On the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. That goes for a gain of 31.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 57 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
They set up the screen. Achane has it. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
2nd down and 6 now. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are able to stretch out their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He finds his man. Complete. It's Griffith. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Stroud working out of the gun. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Felt me get a little jangly up there before that last play called, and then once it happened, I was like, oh, because it feels like almost a missed golden opportunity to take a shot in that position.
You think 1st and 5, maybe you go for a little more than a short run?
Almost a free down.
Now here's Stroud. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and sending him back on the sand. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Devon Achane to the... ready to go once again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Throwing to start the drive. Sampson, he'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 89 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown. A gain of 11. The drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Delson in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Hey, get Panther. Roll. Bronco switch.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And they will take over first and Miami set to take over. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. Celebration, pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now a 2nd and 6. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Sampson. He's got a man, complete. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 72 yards. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Sanders on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Stroud. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, for the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Sampson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A final shot before break. Sampson, he's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there as time expires in the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead on the final play of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the Patriots who were able to come away with the victory. The Pats let a few too many slip away over the course of the year, but a victory there does mean they finish above 500 at 9-8. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Garrett Wilson, a touchdown catch in the victory. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To throw on third down, Sampson. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll run with Chestnut. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, Achane. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2nd and 6. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll run for it with Achane. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So how about the season, Charles? And he continues to put together. That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation, because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith at 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Stroud off the play fake. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And Stroud now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Rhodes. And he'll be out right at the 35. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Taken in at the 22. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
110 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
2nd down and 4.
19 Tiger.
A run here with Chestnut. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go. H.M. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
And they'll run again. And this time he'll score. Touchdown, Miami.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with the touchdown run.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole.
Ready.
On first down, here's Stroud.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again on second down, it's Stroud.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on third down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Stroud. He finds his man. Complete. That's Griffith. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Here's J.K. Scott now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at the 20. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Looking to throw on second down. Sampson looking long for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards. And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the enemy territory. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And this is caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Houston set to take over. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Alert! Alert! Hey! Hey! Jack Panther! Roll!
Another try after the first down sack. Stroud. He finds his man, complete. That's Rhodes. So 8 yards on the completion there, and 3rd and 8 now. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Let's go!
2nd and 7.
18 Cardinal! 18 Cardinal!
On the carry, it's Chestnut. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. From the 20, here's second down and 2. Now a handoff looking right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Running left, Achane. Oh, able to avoid him. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for 2nd place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits 1 behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people of the NFL.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's got room. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Miami, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Houston, they wanted desperately to finish above 500, but that will not happen as it is an 8-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.